Hello, my name is Rachel Wick. Today, students, we are going to be doing what's called a printing experimentation. We'll be rotating between stations, trying different techniques in printing, figuring out which ones you like the best. Okay, as we start, here's the first thing you're going to need to do. You're going to need to go to the smock bin and get a smock. We don't want to get anything on our clothes. We'll be dealing with tempera paint, markers, and printing ink today. So let's make sure we are ready to go. We're going to be calm. We're going to move slowly throughout the room and make sure that we're using our space wisely. All right, let's go. Okay, students, here we are. At your desk, you're going to have this large printing experimentation sheet. It tells you each technique that you're going to be doing. You'll also see some sheets and sheet protectors kind of showing you pictures of kind of the expected outcome of your printing. At each station, you're going to have a sheet that tells you exactly what to do in case you forget from the video. First things first, because we may not finish in one class period, we need to make sure we have our name. My name is Rachel, and our class code. That way I can make sure I get your sheets back to you. Each station will be rotated every 5 minutes, like I'd said before. So, not sure which one you're going to start on, so make sure you read which one they are. Right away when I'm teaching you, I'm just going to start at the monoprint. A monoprint can be made only once and printed only once. We're going to lay down some paint. Draw it in with, we're going to lay down paint on a plate. A plate is the surface that you're going to print from. And then we're going to use a Q-tip, or other techniques would be to use a fingertip. And then after that, we're going to just clean our plate off. Okay, so I move my paper aside. Take a brush. I'll have some paint at your table. Tempera paint. Fill it up. Now we'll be working on top of magazines that we'll throw away in our trash receptacle. I just want to tell you about our trash receptacle. You're going to have like a cardboard lid at your desk, and that's going to be your trash receptacle. We can tear off at any point in time our papers to clean our surface if it gets dirty from the last person. Set your brush back on the plate. Take a Q-tip. Draw a picture. I'm just going to do a simple flower. You might have to switch it over if it gets too full of paint so you'll be able to see it. Wherever the foil shows through is going to be just the white of the paper. This goes in the trash receptacle. Okay, take your plate. You might get a little on your hands. That's why we have paper towels at your desk so that you can wipe them off. Flip it over, press for the transfer, and let's see. Okay, there you go. Now, we're not expecting perfection here. This is experimentation. So I can see by looking at this, maybe I had a little too much paint. Next time if I tried it again, I would have a little less paint from my brush. Okay, now we need to clear this off for the next person. Take your paper towels, wipe it off. You probably will have enough time. If you need to go wash your hands, you could, or just wait. Your hands are going to get dirty. Throw it in the receptacle. Put this back for the next person. So there it was. We just did mono printing. Okay, the next one is going to be stamping. A stamp can be used repeatedly to make a pattern. Make a stamp by taping yarn around a cardboard. Tap onto the ink pad and stamp onto the paper. Now, I'm just doing this because I think it would be fun for you guys to try to make your own stamp. But you can take found objects, this is just like a tape roll, and you can stamp it on the stamp pad. We have these huge stamp pads. Or you've probably used small stamp pads. Or you could put paint on a plate and it all works the same. So, but to try a technique like this, here's what you do. I'm going to move my paper out of the way. When I tell you to rotate, you're going to have to take your paper with you, so make sure you do. Okay, this is called masking tape. You just need a small piece twice. So I would just have that ready. I take my cardboard. You're going to want to make sure the tape that begins and ends this yarn is all on the same side, just because this would print once we put paint on it. Or ink, I'm sorry, when we stamp it. So I'm just going to wrap and make a design, just like you see in the picture that I have at your table. There's also other ways, of course, to make it. You can try different directions. Again, try and make the yarn stop on the back where the other tape was. And this little piece of cardboard is just going to go in the trash right after you're done. Okay, this surface where there's no tape is my stamp. All right, take it to the stamp pad. Get some ink on it. Pick it up. Go to the stamping spot and transfer. And voila, I have myself a little piece of artwork. Now if I had a big sheet of paper, I could stamp, 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 and make repeated ones. I'm going to throw this in the trash receptacle now. In the picture, I kind of have a fun one. See right there. Okay. Next, we're moving on to the styrofoam plate with markers. Okay, so you're going to have markers at that spot. You're going to have a plate or some sort of container that has water in it. This sponge has water soaked into it because you need water. Before you start making your stuff, take the sponge and set it on there. Now, there's going to be several of you at your table, at least 4. And you're going to have to share that. Or maybe I'll have more. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what kind of materials I have. So this is a styrofoam plate. It's a good old simple piece of styrofoam. You got to draw a picture. Let me get this out of the way. See, that's getting nice and soaked right now. All right, draw a picture. Again, I'm just going to stay with the flower theme. Dull pencils work well. Sharp ones could just poke holes, and even if it does, it does. I'm just going to make a fun little artsy flower. Some fun stuff in the background. You have to press deeply. The areas that are pressed are going to remain white. Okay, color it in with markers. I'm probably going to color quickly. I'm sure you guys would spend a little bit more time. You have 5 minutes to do so, but yours probably be better than mine. And color to your edges. Do it on your kind of background. I'll have protector paper on your table. Maybe I'll try and have 4 sponges. That might be easier because there might be 4 of you at a time. Okay, there it is. Pick up the sponge, put it back on the plate. I can't guarantee this is the right amount of water. I was kind of testing it. Ooh. Press. Ooh, I think I just learned I might have had too much water. See, problem solving. Okay, there's that. If you want to, you can wipe it off and keep it, or just throw it in the receptacle. So I had too much water. I learned that. Now when I go to my next time, if I ever want to try this again, I probably would squeeze the sponge out before I set it on the paper. I learned that. Okay, so we just did styrofoam markers. Now looks like we're going to move on to styrofoam plate, ink, or paint. The stamp can be used repeatedly to make a pattern. Draw a design with pencil, ink with a brayer. What's a brayer? Put onto paper and rub the back of the plate. Well, so let's see what we have here. So here is tempera paint. I'm using brown just because I'm using up some brown. Brayer is a roller. Okay, so we'll have that. Then plate, another piece of styrofoam. All right, it says draw into the styrofoam, use a brayer. So let's just make a picture. I think I will draw a big flower and maybe another one over here. Maybe I'll just draw some fun stripes. Again, I'm just trying to hurry so you guys have plenty of time. Okay, then take the brayer. This probably will already be rolled out. So this is where you're going to want to have, whenever you use the brayer, I'd like you guys to have a magazine or something underneath your plate. Let me just move this aside. Kind of so that it's going to transfer onto the table, so it's just easier for the next person. If you're on a magazine, then we throw away the magazine paper. Like I'll throw away the paper towel. Okay, the roller or brayer is inked. I usually just kind of hold with my fingernail. You shouldn't have to get too messy. If you're getting really messy, you're doing it wrong. Okay, it is inked. Put this back on the plate. That way places don't get all messy. Move this aside and lay down. Don't let this part move. You have to hold it still with one hand and rub with the other. If it moves, it's going to ruin your image. Peel. Voila, you have a transfer. That is a print, and you could use it over and over and over. When you're doing your final, like when we actually do the project, you could wipe it off and try different colors and have fun with that. That's just tempera paint. Okay, throw it away. You could have even used the other one too. I don't know, we'll see.